probably seen me if you go to Twitter and type in Scotland's Mountains, that's what I'm better known as. And same on YouTube, Scotland's Mountains, or Steaming Boots as we like to call it. Have a bit of fun out in the outdoors, whether it's kayaking or hill walking or what have you. We like to take videos of the adventures and stick them up on YouTube for people to watch, and maybe for future generations to look back and see. Well, I like everything outdoors, to be honest with you. Hill walking started me off, and I started bagging the Munros a few years ago, quite a few years ago now. But I suppose presently my preferred outdoor activity, I love wild camping. I love the solitude of it, and just getting away out into the wilds by yourself, and the freedom of the hills, and also enjoying the mountains. What I think is the best time is dusk and dawn and sunset and sunrise, and usually having that to yourself is a special time. When I was young, my bedroom window, you could just about make out Ben aglow. You could certainly see the Highlands and Ben Hornsey from the bedroom window. So I used to always be intrigued by the snow and watch the snow coming to the mountains, and wondered what it would be like up there. And when I finally got the chance, I think my first foray into the mountains properly was maybe about 14 or 15, maybe a bit younger, and we did Larry Grew with a friend who was in the Duke of Edinburgh, and there was quite a few years beyond that which passed before I got into it properly. My first Munro was Loch na Gar on a summer's day, and ever since I was hooked. It's been had lots of adventures, met lots of friends, and had some great times. It's been good. Every year I usually go away with a group of friends. For years and years we've gone away and camped, usually due to cost constraints in the early years. We used to take the tent, and we were one of the ones that went down Glen Etive and parked on the roadside, and it was fantastic. And we went to the campsites all around Scotland and what have you, and it's gradually progressed over the last few years, especially to wild camping. Myself and my brother went up into the hills in the North West Highlands about 2 or 3 years ago, and with the tent that served us well for years, and it kind of got trashed, and a storm rolled in, and that's when I purchased a decent tent, which has made things a lot easier to get out and about, and kind of been hooked there, and ever since really. It's any chance if I can get away, I will get away, and don't do it as much as I like, trying to fit the time in can be difficult. Yeah. It has to be Skye. I've not been for a few years, and which I need to remedy and hopefully get back there this year at some point. I just love Skye. I've been lucky. The times I've been up there, I've had fabulous weather. I was lucky enough to do the Ridge Traverse in 2006, I think it was 2006, 2007 perhaps. We got glorious weather, we got sunburned. Love Skye, a magical place, absolutely fantastic. An amazing place to go and see, so I'm desperate to get back up to Skye, whether it be heading down to Elgol or up onto the ridge again. Doesn't really bother me. The fairy pools or up to the Trotternish Peninsula. It's a fabulous place. Got a couple really, one of which is this day I took this photograph. It was a February day in Ben Nevis, and just fantastic. Got up really early, left in the middle of the night, started walking from the North Face car park at about 6 o'clock, and virtually had the mountain to myself. I met a few climbers heading up the path, but got up early, up onto the Carnmore Gerard Arrête. Stunning conditions, and the first person I met, once I was up on the hill, were people on the summit. I think I met 2 people on the summit. It was the same couple I'd met in the walk-in. And apart from that, the place was dead, which I've never experienced on Ben Nevis. Every time I've been back there, it's been hoaching. And it wasn't until I was probably just about reaching the halfway walking and heading back over to the North Face car park that I started to meet the string of with the ant line heading up the hill. But it was a fantastic experience, and oh God, there's so many good memories. I suppose a really fond memory I've got from wild camping was one of my first wild camps with a new tent. Went down Glen Etive, right to the bottom to a corbett called Ben Trillichan, and headed up in a bar. It was roasting, I think it was 24 degrees in the car park at the bottom, and headed up to do a wild camp on the top of Ben Trillichan. There wasn't a drop of wind, the clarity was fantastic, and apart from maybe a couple of clegs, there was no midges, which was astounding for the time of year. It was amazing. I could see a haze over the ocean before settling down for the night, and was hoping for an inversion, but when I woke in the Clag, but a few minutes later, maybe 10-15 minutes after taking the tent down, the clouds started to lower, and I think it's probably stuck with me, that memory of being so disappointed of not having an inversion to having possibly one of the best inversions I've seen high above Glen Etive. It was just fantastic. And then headed down and did a corbett on the other side of the hill, and back in the car for about, I can't remember, 10 o'clock. Had a dip in the pool and in the Glen as well, which was just fantastic. So that was a really good, fond memory. I've always taken pictures and linked them as mementos, as you can see my picture up there, and I've got lots of other pictures to remind me of my outdoors activities. But videoing was really my friend who I go climbing with. He got me into that, and I just really enjoy it. It's a good way, it's a good memento of the day when you're stuck indoors and you want to go back. You can switch on the YouTube channel and have a wee look at some of the adventures you've had. Good way to brighten up your spirits. It's quite busy. It can be, people that have gone wild camping can maybe relate. Once you get up there and you set the camp, you think you've got hours. You might get bored, hours doing nothing, but you do things. You've got to get your tent nice and comfy, get your ground mat sorted, and make sure you've got a nice pitch. And then you've got to think about your tea and finding a water source and filtering the water, and then of course the photography. I never feel bored when I'm camping, and relaxing with a nice meal. The food always tastes better in a wild camp. It's good, it's fantastic, and taking photographs. I just love taking photographs and try to capture a good photo at sunset and sunrise. And sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. That's the beauty of having digital cameras, I suppose. So I just find it relaxing, the whole experience relaxing. There's not one particular thing. But, a nice cuppa. And of course in the morning, a cup of coffee and a flapjack. Fantastic, tastes brilliant. My advice was maybe get out there and just do it, start off low level, be safe, always be careful, know what you're doing. In terms of kit, I think the best piece of kit I've bought after my tent was a decent ground mat, and what a difference that made. I didn't have to worry so much about finding a perfectly flat piece of land. The ground mat that I've got, it's almost like an airbed, and has made the whole experience a lot more comfortable, and I can get a nice night's sleep now. It's fantastic.